uniform show. We have the NBA playoffs, we have NFL and MLB all featured today, but especially looking at the NBA playoffs now that we're almost at the conference finals. Let's start with a few of the notes, even going back to the regular season. I could not forget this, that LeBron James broke the all-time scoring record, and these were the shoes he broke them in. So all the pictures everywhere with LeBron James either making the basket or here with Kareem feature these shoes.
Yeah, I myself do not know the whole story on why he chose pink shoes, but would have been appropriate from our standpoint if it had been team colors, black, white. Just doesn't go with anything going on in Laker history or complimenting the uniform he's wearing.
Yellow shoes? No.
Yep.
Purple shoes?
Yeah.
The Lakers are really down on the color purple these days.
Yeah.
But this is the picture you're going to remember. Got some others for this all-time scoring record. Shoes in all the sports are really out of hand now.
An all-time low.
An all-time low, I shouldn't say. Maybe out of hand's the wrong way of putting it, considering they're wearing them on their feet.
It's a good way of putting it.
That's what you got with shoes. It's bad in baseball. The NFL, a lot of times, is bad, but you could say the NBA is the worst. It just doesn't matter anymore. We're going to see more of that with a few more of the games from the NBA playoffs. Warriors and Lakers. Second round conference, Western Conference semifinals. This series was important because you have the Warriors going up against the Lakers. You have Curry versus LeBron. And we were saying, well, what do you think the Warriors are going to wear in game one? And they, being the home team, decided to wear this city alternate uniform.
In our opinion, the weakest of what they could have worn this year. But this is what they chose to wear. They wore the black last year in the finals more than the blue. So maybe they were trying to recapture some of that magic again by wearing them here, but a disappointing start to the series for them, uniform-wise.
I have so many problems with this. First of all, it's game one.
Right.
And you begin the series wearing this alternate black uniform. You're the Golden State Warriors. You wear blue. You could wear a yellow, which they didn't do and they haven't been doing as all these NBA teams, almost all of them. We can only come up with a few that don't wear black.
Right.
But they begin this series not even with the better looking black, which is just a black version of the regular uniforms, the standard white or blue. They go with this very weak version of black, and it was just an ugly game to watch. The Warriors didn't play well. They looked bad. And then when they wear these, they have this more of a gray look on the court, too.
Right, like the Nets.
So it's just a bad choice all the way around for the Warriors. And the Lakers look great. They're wearing their best uniform there, number one, yellow. LeBron James on the left, Anthony Davis on the right. And the result was that the Warriors lost game one. I say they got what they deserved for wearing these.
And set the tone for the series.
Which they ended up losing anyway. And The fact they lost game one was a major loss, and it showed this was the Lakers series. On the right hand here, you have Anthony Davis, and we're not going to get into all the issues today that Anthony Davis has with the uniform or how he decides to wear what he decides to wear in addition to the uniform. There's a lot of problems. That's for another day. But I am going to criticize the red shoes. He's been wearing the red shoes now for a long time. He's been wearing the red shoes throughout the whole playoffs. A team color, please. Yellow, you think that would be loud enough? A purple, you think that would be great? But red. Is this the Bulls? Is this any other red team in the NBA? There's no shortage of them. You're the Lakers, and you're not wearing your team colors. You're wearing red. Or another conversation we had was, his days back on the Pelicans when they would wear red.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the story either behind it, but just from a uniform standpoint, which is what we're here for, doesn't match at all. Black, red, neither colors that go with the uniform. It stands out a lot, but it doesn't match well and doesn't complement the great Laker uniform that he's wearing.
Yeah, I don't even care if it's for a good cause or it's for charity. Wear your team colors.
Yeah.
Or even wear white shoes with a little bit of the team color, please. Black shoes, which you mentioned. Come on, red shoes. Game 2, so we have a reverse. This time, the Warriors get it right, and they wear the white uniforms, which they should have began the series with. And then you have the Lakers wearing this bad alternate purple with the black numbers. And I cannot understand why the classic purple for the Lakers fell out of favor and popularity with the players, and they go with this lesser, weaker version of that uniform.
Yeah, the shade of purple is not the traditional shade that the Lakers use. The Lakers name, and the numbers don't match. Way too much black all over the place, on the sides, the borders, the numbers. Just such a disappointment when they have both the yellow and the purple right. It is so good. And it's just too bad that one out of the two has to be so inferior this year. You can only hope that they bring back the regular purple in future again.
Yeah, I have to comment about the shoes. I can't help it. I'm a shoe critic. These shoes that LeBron wears, that's what I argue. Could someone like Anthony Davis wear shoes like that throughout the series? I wouldn't complain because you actually have yellow on there. You have purple, and the Lakers, let's make it clear again, they are a yellow team. They are not a gold team. The Warriors, they're called the Golden State Warriors. That color is yellow, not gold.
Right.
And then you have Vanderbilt here. He's wearing red shoes too. Go play for a red team. And although we don't have it here in our pictures in this episode, it took till the fourth game of this series for the teams to get it right. Because in the next game, game 3, the Lakers would wear white, which is a very good alternate, and then the Warriors would wear blue. And then game 4, you have the Lakers wearing yellow and the Warriors finally wearing blue.
Right.
So you get the best matchup, had to wait till 4 games to get it right. Then we go over to the other Western Conference matchup between the Suns and the Nuggets. This was bad to start on both sides. This alternate mile-high City Connect that the Nuggets has the same problem as the Pacers. like that wraparound titles.
Right.
Very weak uniform. The Nuggets, we've talked about, have never had really a strong uniform set. But how do you start a series with these weakling jerseys?
Yeah, the blue is not even their primary shade of blue on their primary uniforms. The design, like you said, very similar to the Indiana Pacers' current design with text on top and bottom, the number in the middle. Just
Which
a
is
really bad look.
which is one of the worst in the entire NBA.
Right, we rated it way at the bottom of our NBA uniform rankings. And too much red, too many different colors. The shorts design is not attractive. Just having some border and the circular neck are probably the only good things about it.
It's a bad look for the home Nuggets, and I don't want to let the Suns go because while there's nothing terrible about these white uniforms, they are so boring. And any of those, let's just say the 90s uniform, please, can you just bring that back? Because they haven't done anything in these anyway. There's nothing memorable. They got to a finals and they lost. Plus, they don't look particularly good either. They just blend in with the rest of the league. And I went back into the regular season to see what they should have worn. As later in the series, the Nuggets, as you see here on the right, that's a uniform I've come to like for their home. And then the Suns. Every excuse I can get to talk about the 90s Suns purple uniform, I'm going to bring it up. But just look at the comparison. Both sides look better, and it's a shame that we didn't get to see that. It's a shame that all these great turnback uniforms that we saw during the regular season, for some reason, it seems that the league does not allow them to wear these in the playoffs.
Right.
Then going over the Eastern Conference, this was a disappointment. Game 1, Celtics and 76ers in Boston. I was concerned about what they might wear to start the series. Our hope was, well, the Celtics traditionally should wear white, and then the 76ers should wear blue. What do we get? We get the Celtics, who are just holding on to those blacks, and then we get the 76ers wearing not blue, they're wearing red.
And as we said before, the overall design for the Celtics is still great. It's traditional, but the colors are so underwhelming. Black, poor contrast. Text is dark with thin white outline. So much weaker version of their normal, either white or green. They could have done either of those. Of course, we prefer white, traditional, at home. But then you have the 76ers wearing the red, and we like the blue better. The font of Phila better than the cursive script in this case, and then just the color red, and just the fact that it's color on color. And growing up, there was never color on color except for when the Lakers were hosting somebody, and just never looks good. It's just poor contrast and just another really bad way to start a series.
Yeah, what especially bothers me, I disliked what the 76ers did here with the red and starting the series this way, but the Celtics, when you think of basketball and tradition, the Celtics should always wear white at home. They should always wear green on the road. And it's not just because it's tradition. They look the best.
Yes.
They've worn those all these years and had so much success in those for a good reason. And then to begin a series like this in this way was the wrong decision. at least I'll say that it's still a good design because it's the same design as the white and green, but it's black.
Right.
Unlike the Warriors, which was worse than this.
Right.
For me, there's a very short list of teams or matchups that look good color versus color. Lakers are an exception. They're in their own category because of the yellow at home. Very few. I can remember Bulls wearing red, Warriors wearing blue. As primary colors, it can work. Or if you could say, even if the Celtics wore green in this, it would be better. If they were wearing green and the 76ers were wearing blue or red, I don't like the black.
Yeah.
Then in game four, they finally got it right too. It took till game four of this series where you have the 76ers wearing, I would say, their best uniform, the blue, and then you have those beautiful white Celtics on the road.
It was great to see, and just seem to keep saying in all these series that they wear their best uniforms last. It's their last choice,
Right, the last resort.
not the first choice. And this is what happened in this series too, but just glad that it finally did happen. And you can see the difference, better contrast, both just within each uniform and between the two uniforms. So much better, more strong designs and fonts and structure just overall.
Then moving over to the Knicks Heat. Never been a fan of the Heat and their vest look, which they've had for too long. They're average uniforms. These are the uniforms they're known for. These are the uniforms they've won in. We've already reviewed the 90s uniform, which we are big fans of. The problem here is the Knicks.
Why the Knicks decided to wear dark blue the entire series instead of at least one game wearing their regular blue. Don't know the story there, but it's weaker. And it's very close to the color black. And they also wore the color black, as you pointed out as we watched the series. Very little difference between those two, and just very poor contrast. And both of us feel that their regular blue is their strongest, best uniform, and they decided not to wear it at all this entire playoffs.
Yeah, as you said, the NBA allows these teams to wear three uniforms in the playoffs,
That's what it seems.
from what we've noticed. And the Knicks' choice with their three has been so bad that you have the traditional home white. That's good. But the other two that they have the black, which is the same design as the home and the road, the white and the traditional blue. And then they pick this dark blue, and there's such a little difference between this dark navy, almost midnight blue, and then you have black. I don't get it, and I wish they would wear this. And I think Patrick Ewing's expression here, with the arms out, it says it all.
Yes.
Wear these. Wear these uniforms. You look at the font of the New York compared to what they've been wearing with that dark blue. Let's see that. And I can even see the nets there, that better nets design.
Mm-hmm.
Bring them back. But it doesn't matter at this point because the Knicks have been eliminated.
Right.
NBA has shed a tear because the Knicks are out. They went too far. That series shouldn't even have gone as long as it did. Knicks going forward, bring back these uniforms. They didn't get over the top and win the finals, but at least they got to the finals. Just wear them again. I had to go back and just search to see, well, are they wearing these at all? And they did wear them in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Now the NFL. And this is a big one. This is our only NFL item today is Aaron Rodgers. He gets traded to the Jets. And this was a hard one to watch because Aaron Rodgers in the Packers uniform, to me, was as good as it gets. Packers are our number one NFL uniform. Their home uniform is arguably the best uniform in all of sports. But it is number one without a doubt in the NFL. He wore the right helmet. He had a good number. He wore the uniform right from top to bottom.
Socks, tucked in jersey, good looking helmet.
And now he goes to one of the worst looking teams in the NFL. This is the bottom three. We have the Commanders, the Jets, the Falcons. Those are the worst looking teams in the NFL. I'll let you get into it. Rip away.
So many combinations that the Jets wear that are bad, just thinking of the uniform sets themselves.
The last NFL show that we did, we went over a number of them, whether that be especially the black pants. The color on color, the black on black, the white on black. That's what Aaron Rodgers is going to be wearing this season.
Hopefully, maybe there will be some differences this year, but from what we saw last year, they had all this success wearing white on black, and they decided to keep wearing it almost every single game for the most part. White on green is a lot better just in itself, but you have the mediocre helmet design, as we point out in our uniform review, with the Jets logo and font, the metallic shiny type green, and then the black face mask, and then you have the jersey, as we point out, with the New York name and the strips on the shoulder, and then the pants being very weak too, with the minimal strips, and then you have the full stocking effect, no socks, and usually the same colored shoe to go and blend in with whatever sock and shoe. So you got that whole one-piece look. Seeing Aaron Rodgers in that is a disappointing, sad thing to imagine after what he came off of.
Yeah, it's not a promotion, it's demotion when you go from the Packers wearing the best uniform in the NFL and a traditional uniform and just perfect design to wearing this color on color, and then you're wearing see-through transparent stockings when they're going to be wearing the black on black. I feel sorry for him. I really do. You're going from the Packers to this awful set of Jets uniforms and they're all bad. They really are.
Right.
I mean, you go from bad to worse with the different combos that the Jets have.
Yes. Brett Favre went to the Jets, and they were the Joe Namath uniforms. Pretty good. Only could hope that they will bring those back soon.
Can't bring them back fast enough.
No. Replace the black on black on black set with that, at least. And the only thing I'm hoping for is that with Aaron Rodgers now here and a new chapter, maybe they'll be open to wearing the green jersey with the white pants again, or the white jersey with the green pants, or the white with the white. Not white on black, not green on green that they did last year. I can only hope that they would mix it up a little better, and he seems to be someone who has good taste in what he's wearing, that he would encourage or ask for that, maybe. But then another feature here, just looking at the uniform itself, the 8 is so big and so blocky and oversized. Not a good font. Too large, too close to the name. The name on the back, it's not too bad, but the number is just so big. And
well, the thing is, he can't have his number because 12 was Namath's number.
right.
If he was going to go to the Jets, he was going to have to get a new number. And he could have gone with 10, he could have gone with 11, could have gone with 13, 14, 15.
A double digit.
You like double digits for quarterbacks more than I do. But he was going to get a new number. He wasn't going to be number 12 anymore.
Right.
And to see that just gigantic 8 on there, hopefully it looks better in person in the game. I'm prepared that it's going to look bad as it did last season. As you said, hopefully there'll be less color on color for his sake. The Jets are going to be on a lot of national TV games, but they're going to be the worst looking team in those combinations, in those matchups, whether it's the Chiefs or I know they're scheduled to play the Cowboys. Rodgers is going to be on one ugly team.
Yeah, and at least when they're wearing green on white or white on green, from afar could look a little bit like the 90s gangrene Jets, which is still not one of the greatest Jets, but looks better than what they were last year.
We're finishing with one team, the Miami Marlins, and we're looking at City Connect. We're going to do a whole episode on City Connect uniforms in baseball. Well, hopefully there's something else we can sprinkle in that's positive, because you go through all those City Connect uniforms, you probably have to run to the toilet. They're that bad. We were watching a Fox Saturday baseball game and noticed the Marlins wearing these. I had not seen them before. This was the first time. It was a complete surprise to me. The Marlins City Connects.
And the colors are very distant from the actual Marlins colors. The blue is somewhat reminiscent of the teal, but red, even if it has a connection to the old Miami Marlins, is for me just too drastic of a change and departure from the typical Marlins. They have some pinstripes with the jersey. Maybe that's a tribute to the original Marlins uniform. Somewhat interesting. The numbers on the back actually look fairly decent compared to a lot of teams, and the name and the fact that both of them are white and match is good, but the pants very clean with the stripe down the side, but that's about all positive that you can say, I could say about it.
It's a minor league uniform. The minor league teams are desperate to catch your eye, and that's what you have with this. They could be worse. I could think of worse, and there are worse with City Connect.
Yeah.
And I blame the NBA, because you cannot find a single City Edition uniform that, in my opinion, looks good, or even is. They're certainly not better than the standard default uniforms. They're not even equal to them. They're always worse.
Right.
I mean, show me a good one. And we run into the same thing. MLB decided, well, we've got to follow the NBA, and they're both awful across the board. There's not anything I like. It's more in the MLB, oh, I can tolerate those. That's what I say when I see these City Connect and then the NBA. Well, you're just thankful that the City editions are only worn occasionally, but they should not be in the NBA playoffs. Like these should not be in the MLB playoffs. I wish they could just be wiped from our memories and we never have to see them again.
Right.
So that's going to be a long one when we go through the City Connect MLB uniforms because the teams have been releasing more and more as the season has gone on now that we're in May. So we're going to finish off with a positive, and it's the Marlins, the same team. And I am happy to see these uniforms come back. They were the original 1993 Marlins uniforms 30 years ago. And what's really funny with these two players that we selected here, you got Jesus Luzardo and you got AJ Puck, both lefties, both former Oakland Athletics, who were supposed to have bright futures, didn't work out, and they're both pitching for the Marlins.
Yeah. The Marlins, which historically are a team that are kind of similar to the A's, that would have big fire sales and not retain their star players and be competitive. Great to see these uniforms back. Signature Marlins. The teal hat, of course, was brief in their history. They had the black hat with this uniform more, but overall they have never had anything better since this basic design. It was, from what I remember reading at one point, supposed to be elements that were similar to the Yankees with the pinstripes and some of the design features, and pinstripes do look good with this set. The Marlins name, the way it's spaced and drawn out, looks good. The numbers and the two color selections work well together, teal and black, and nothing more than that. No orange, red, yellow, crazy combination that was featured in the set they had before. Their current uniform set works much better.
Couple things here. I really enjoyed seeing these come back because the Marlins have looked bad for years. Like almost all these teams that change their uniforms, just brace yourself. It's not going to be good. It's going to be bad. If it's anything better than bad, if it's even average, be thankful for that. Couple things, though, that are a little off here. Well, I'll back up a moment. I always thought that the teal hats were a little too much.
Yeah.
They were a little too bright for my liking, but I'll take them. I'll take them over anything that they're wearing now.
Yeah.
I preferred the black hat that they won the two World Series in
Same
in
here.
97 and 03. The pinstripes always look great. And I've always liked the uniform. I think it's a solid, respectable uniform for a team that was an expansion team, who was a newer team that won a World Series. But two things are off, though, when I'm looking at these current modern players wearing these uniforms is Luzardo wearing the white shoes.
Yes.
Marlins should wear black shoes. There's only one team in baseball that should wear white shoes, and that's the Oakland A's.
Yes.
They're the only team that should wear white shoes. And then on the right, you have Puck pitching, and it's the belts. That should be a black belt,
Yep.
not a teal belt. But they give the players that option now. I don't like it. Let's hope they bring these back. I hope they do, for more than just Friday home games, that they would really consider wearing these again as their primary uniform. And they won they won in them.
Right. 2 World Series with this basic design, has championship memories to go with it. Both the Marlins and the Dolphins need to go back to their more historical uniforms.
Oh, the Dolphins. Yes, that's one that we've spoken about a couple of times in the uniform show. Good job, Marlins. At least you've done something right with the uniforms.